Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News. And as you guys know, we've been discussing from every which angle the breakup heard round Iceland. That's Susie and Clayton's breakup. And of course, the only thing my fiance could think of when Clayton rushed Susie to the Uber was that the inside must have been very cold because the car wasn't warmed up. That's all. That's what she was worried about. Did they warm the car before? It's the winter over there. Well, here we have Clayton Echard on the Ben and I's Almost Famous podcast. I was just sent this information. I haven't listened to it yet. They said at the 29-minute mark, Clayton admits to thinking that maybe Susie was trying to become bachelorette versus repair their relationship. Let's have a listen.
I don't agree that I was gaslighting because I looked that up and it said, gaslighting, the definition is trying to convince someone of a different reality than what is actually the true reality of the situation. And again, I think I had
But you just kind of admitted that you were making things up in your head.
But it wasn't. I think gaslighting in my eyes is something where you have bad intentions. You're trying to manipulate somebody. And I was not at all trying to do that. My reality was in my head at that point. I believed what I believed. I had no bad intentions. I just was voicing my concerns to her at that point and my frustrations and my feelings. But I would not say at all, no, I totally disagree on the gaslighting concept because I was not trying to manipulate her for my benefit at all. I had no intention of doing that. I am not that kind of person. And that does strike a chord with me because that's not me. I was not trying to tell her that she was wrong. I was trying to figure out why she couldn't give me another chance. But I wasn't sitting here saying, you're wrong. You have the wrong perspective on this, and you need to believe my perspective. My whole hope was just, hey, we're at a disagreement right now, but can we work past this? Can we fight through this? That's all I wanted to do.
So your hope was, if I'm hearing you right, your hope was your goal ultimately was to keep her around because you thought there was still something there. You still believe that your future could be with Susie. And so you were doing whatever you could, as in your words, grasping at straws to try to convince her to stay when she was committed to leaving at that point. And so how I hear this, and tell me if I'm wrong, is something happened in this process where your ego got deeply hurt. And I get how that can happen too, right? We've been there. But there's something that happened along this journey that maybe we saw or didn't see where now you're feeling like I have to be on guard for the people trying to leave the show, for the women that aren't in this for the right things and that aren't interested in me. And it felt like, what I'm hearing is at this moment, your ego got in the way and you were trying to protect everything, especially the fact that you didn't want Susie to walk out. And so I guess that's one question. Where did that get hurt? And the second is, why weren't you okay with her leaving? Ultimately, why did it matter? If she wanted to be the next bachelorette, let her go. Let her go do that because you still got two women you're in love with sitting in a house somewhere.
Yeah. So when I hear the term ego, I guess if you want to say I was very much at that point I had a very timid, I was very just nervous that I had Sarah play this game with me. I had other women that had left that, just wasn't shown, but people that came here just to push their own agenda to take for this to be a stepping stone for their, again, I don't want to sit here and say all these women came here for me. They didn't even no, that's not true at all. And we all know this. So let's call it for what it is. A lot of people came here for their own personal benefit. But there were women that said, okay, hey, yes, I did. This could be a stepping stone, but I could also fall for this guy. And so there were genuine women that were here to say, hey, this is possible. But what happened is really what it was, the turning point was when I found out, because I had no idea, but when I found out Sarah was lying to the other women and telling them things like, oh, he said after our first one-on-one that I was going to be at the end of it all with them. He was already constructing his hometowns after week one and that he was crying with me. These were things that I was like, why are you making this up? You're making it seem like you have this extremely strong connection and we have a connection, but these women now are all going to leave. And they all came to me and we thought about leaving at one point. So when I had to have the women come tell me, because I didn't see that, Sarah played it well, then I thought, okay, if she's playing that game, who could still be playing this game? Like, she played it all the way up until right before hometowns. I almost took her to hometowns. Therefore, I thought, is there anyone else that's still potentially playing me? And yeah, at that point, I was freaked out. I was very insecure because I everything started to creep in that you're on a show, man. Like, you have to understand that the show faces criticism for people coming on here to become popular, to gain followers and all that. And you came here with the headspace of you want to fall for somebody and you think it's possible, but now you're wondering if these women feel the same way. And I told myself, no, you have an incredible final. 4 women, that's not the case with them. And I didn't believe it until in that moment when I talked to Susie. It was like all of a sudden that thought crept back in. It came racing in that moment. Why, to answer your question, why couldn't I just let her go when she said that? I mean, ultimately, I know that I walked her out, quote unquote, but I did let her go at that point. I didn't handle it right. I raised my tone. I stopped listening, and it was immature. And I did not handle it correctly, but I did let her go in that moment. And that was what I said right as I opened the car door. I said, I believe everything happens for a reason. I don't know why this is supposed to happen, but it did. And so I'm going to move on. And so I did let her go. But I was fighting because, again, I saw this person potentially being the woman of my dreams, my future wife. And I was not going to just say, okay, all right, that's how you feel. Well, it was great knowing you, and I wish you the best. I was going to fight for it, and I fought for it with every last ounce of fight in my body. Doesn't mean I did it the right way, but I fought all the way till the end.
Well, you said that you don't feel like Susie fought for you in that moment. How do you feel about that line now?
It was untrue. I remember that when she walked out, I remember talking to the producers, and I said, she was cold. I said, she showed no emotion whatsoever.
And how do you feel about that now?
I was wrong.
Let him talk.
1,000%. But because I was so hurt and upset that I even felt as though she gave no emotion from start to finish.
All right, so we got the answer there, right? So in the moment, Clayton was wondering if Susie was there for the wrong reasons because he had been shown proof that others were there for the wrong reasons. He says a lot of women came here for their own personal benefit. That's just something you have to call out. You have to understand he knows they weren't there for him because he wasn't even named the Bachelor when they signed up. They didn't know who the Bachelor was going to be. And so then after Sarah sort of played her cards that way, he said he was freaked out. He didn't handle it correctly. He fought for it. So in the moment, he thought Susie was cold. And then when he watched it back, he saw, oh no, she was distraught. But that's because everyone presents their emotions differently. And we need to remember that whenever we're arguing with someone. Like I've said in the past, you might be arguing with someone and they might have a smirk. You say, hey, wipe that smirk off your face. You don't know what they're feeling. You don't know what's feeling on their inside because we all present differently with different survival mechanisms. So very interesting for Clayton to sort of come to terms with the fact that he handled it wrong, but he won't back down. And he says, I did not handle it correctly, but I fought for it. He says, I fought for it in a wrong way, but I fought for it. And kudos to him for learning and hopefully growing and seeing that his way wasn't the right way and that maybe he's got some blind spots to how to address those situations if they ever present themselves again. Who knows? Maybe they will next week. We've got episodes Monday and Tuesday. So much content to get through. We're going to be doing an epic after the season's over live stream. Boy, it's going to be East Coast to West Coast. We'll be taking your calls from all over the world. So get ready for that. Get the phone lines ready. If you want extra bonus content, go to patreon.com/Dave Neal, where you can catch all of my membership-only content. And don't forget to subscribe also on this channel and follow me on Instagram @DNeals. All right, folks, we'll see you in a little bit. Bye, everybody.